Jehovah's Witnesses, the only scriptural reason for divorce is if someone cheats. That's literally the loophole. The hurt spouse, the one that was allegedly cheated on or wronged, are the ones who call the shots. They're the ones who make the decision as to whether to continue the marriage or end it completely. Even if one spouse wants out, it's not up to them. In divorces, someone might be technically labeled as a cheater to make the divorce valid, but that doesn't mean someone actually cheated.
Kristy Scott kicked her husband out of their house after 12 long years of marriage. Kristy says Desmond was stepping out on her, and that's the reason she's now filing for divorce. Desmond has admitted he messed up, but some people are saying there's more to this story, pointing straight at their religious ties. The talk is that within their faith, infidelity is seen as the only real path to ending a marriage. So some believe this wasn't random, but strategic.
To be for real, she was doing this stuff on camera, snatching plates, doing all kinds of stuff. Her content became disrespecting him majority of the time. He was super annoyed. So if she's doing this on camera, what do y'all think is like off camera?
So yeah, let's break this down. Now here's where it gets even messier. The other woman has officially been identified. We now know exactly who Desmond Scott was involved with while married, and that changed the whole picture fast. At first, I wanted to think Desmond might have claimed cheating just to escape the tight grip of the Jehovah's Witness rules around marriage. That theory sounded possible for a minute, but nope, that idea didn't hold up at all. The truth came out, and it turns out Desmond really was having an affair behind Kristy's back. And the proof is wild. Videos have been floating around showing Desmond and this woman getting real comfortable in public. They weren't hiding. They weren't acting nervous. And that kind of bold behavior usually means it's been going on for a while. When people are that relaxed in public, it says a lot. So yes, the mistress has been identified, the story is confirmed, and the situation is way deeper than it first appeared. So let's jump right back into this video because there's still more to unpack here. I'll circle back with another update soon, and we'll take a closer look at who this woman is and how she even entered the picture. There's a loud section of the internet right now saying love must be fake, all because Kristy Scott officially filed for divorce from Desmond Scott after 12 long years together. For anyone who doesn't know them, Kristy and Desmond Scott are major names on social media. They've been labeled as couple goals for years, and people really bought into their love story. They've been together for over a decade and built a whole brand off fun videos, pranks, and playful moments that made their relationship look solid and untouchable. Their relationship gave a lot of people real hope, and that's why this divorce filing hit so hard. Everything shifted when people saw that Kristy listed infidelity as one of the reasons for ending the marriage. That detail alone flipped the whole narrative and left fans feeling shocked and confused. What makes this even crazier is that Kristy and Desmond first crossed paths back in their school years and grew up over time into this public couple everyone recognized. That long history is why the cheating claims feel so unreal to so many people, especially since they've lived so much of their lives online. They're widely known as the Scotts, and that name carried weight. So Desmond's decision to step out on the marriage raised a lot of eyebrows fast. Before we dive deeper into the drama and start talking about things like who keeps the house, I want to show an example of their content so new viewers can really understand why this situation has everyone talking. Okay, so when you look at a lot of their videos, it's easy to see why they blew up online. Desmond's laugh is a huge part of why these clips go viral. And Kristy is always popping up in these wild outfits and over-the-top costumes, sometimes straight-up scary ones. That shock factor is basically the backbone of their online dynamic and what kept people locked in. But it does make you wonder how real some of it is. Are these moments planned, or is she actually catching him off guard every time? Because his reactions are intense and dramatic, like he did not see it coming at all. And honestly, imagine being in a Chick-fil-A and turning around to see that kind of costume near you. Yeah, instant panic. Still, none of that excuses cheating, not even a little. No matter how chaotic or loud someone's personality is, marriage is marriage. He chose that life. He chose her. And that's that. And let's be clear, this isn't just about Kristy and Desmond as a couple. They're a family. And they share two sons, Vance and Weston. which makes this situation even heavier. That's where the stakes really rise and why people are reacting so strongly to everything coming out. Kristy is also the bigger star by far. She's sitting at nearly 17 million followers on TikTok and around 10 million on Instagram, while Desmond has about 1 million. That's still big, but the gap says a lot. People are deeply invested in Kristy's life, so finding out Desmond cheated sent fans into full outrage mode. Desmond did post a statement on his Instagram story saying, "I want to begin by apologizing to Kristy, our family, and everyone who's been impacted by the public attention surrounding this situation. I know this news has been disappointing for many, and I'm truly sorry for the hurt it has caused. Kristy is the mother of my children, and that will always come first." He went on to say he's fully committed to staying active, present, and loving when it comes to raising their boys, just like he claims he's always been. He said parenting will always come first, no matter what happens between him and Kristy. According to Desmond, they hit serious challenges and made real attempts to work through them. But toward the end of 2025, he says he wanted to separate and had direct conversations with Kristy about it. Now some people are side-eyeing that part hard. He hints that the constant dressing up, pranks, and non-stop content might have been too much for him, which raised eyebrows fast. A lot of viewers feel like that explanation sounds more like a deflection than accountability, even if he tried to frame it calmly. He then admitted that during that period, he made choices he's not proud of. He said he takes responsibility for those actions and claims he told Kristy the truth directly and privately. According to him, that's what ultimately led them to decide on divorce, and he asked the public for privacy and compassion as they move through this chapter. He wrapped it up by thanking everyone who supported him over the years and said he's grateful for that love. He added that he plans to keep sharing his passion for cooking and the things that inspire him, hoping people will continue riding with him. On the surface, it sounds like a clean, respectful message. And honestly, it is a polished statement. Most people assume Kristy will co-parent with him, especially for the sake of their children. But that hasn't stopped the backlash. A lot of fans are upset and have completely switched up on him after hearing all this. One comment really stood out and hit hard. Someone wrote, "Proof that social media isn't real life because so many people were inspired by their relationship. Wanted to be just like them, but he was cheating on her." And that comment lit up the replies. To many, it feels like Desmond tried to soften the blow by saying he wanted a divorce first, but never actually followed through, which just made things look messier, not better. So when you really break it down, the word cheated hits different once you see the paperwork. Kristy officially stated in her divorce filing that Desmond Scott committed adultery, and she didn't sugarcoat it at all. She wrote that the marriage became unsupportable due to constant conflict and clashing personalities, saying it completely destroyed the foundation of the relationship and erased any real chance of fixing things. In plain terms, Kristy made it clear this was done. She basically said the damage was too deep and there was no path back to being together. The way it reads, it sounds like the situation crossed a line that couldn't be undone, and reconciliation was never even on the table after that. Kristy also noted that she and Desmond planned to come to an agreement to divide their shared assets. Most people believe she was referring to their custom-built dream home, the one they proudly showed off before everything fell apart. That house is now a huge part of the conversation. And here's where things get even stranger. Months ago, a psychic commented on the video revealing their dream home, saying the house had bad energy. At the time, people brushed it off. But looking back now, the timing feels wild. No, a house doesn't make someone cheat. But some folks swear the vibe around that place was off from the start. What really shocked people is that the same psychic came back after the divorce news dropped. The TikTok page, Rasta, doubled down and wrote, "The house was beautiful, but the energy of the home was toxic." They went on to say the color choices and overall feel were warning signs tied to ego and excess. Whether you believe in spiritual energy or not, that comment has people talking non-stop. The dream home that once symbolized success is now being side-eyed as part of a much darker chapter in the Scott's story. That comment went even deeper, saying a home like that can push materialism and drift away from what a family really needs, which is warmth, peace, and comfort. They claim the only thing that can override bad energy in a home is a God-centered household, saying, a family that prays together stays together. Whether you agree or not, that idea sparked a whole new wave of debate online. Now let's actually talk about the Scotts' religious background, because that's where things get real interesting. There's been a lot of conversation swirling around their beliefs, and people think it may have played a much bigger role in this split than anyone first realized. It's also worth mentioning that Kristy is reportedly changing her last name back to Too Small, which many believe is her maiden name. That move alone feels symbolic, like she's officially closing this chapter and reclaiming her own identity. Kristy and Desmond have long been linked to Jehovah's Witnesses, and multiple reports say this divorce has taken over the internet partly because of that connection. Fans are now convinced their religious upbringing heavily influenced how this breakup unfolded and why it happened the way it did. Online speculation suggests Desmond's cheating may have been his way of creating what some call scriptural freedom to leave the marriage. Within Jehovah's Witness norms, divorce without adultery can come with serious social or religious consequences, so people are questioning motives hard. Both Kristy and Desmond were reportedly raised in that faith, or at least deeply connected to it, which is why this theory keeps gaining traction. Some believe the cheating wasn't random at all, but a calculated move to avoid backlash tied to divorcing without infidelity. One comment that's been making the rounds straight up says it all. Someone wrote, "They are Jehovah's Witness. Look into what goes into wanting a divorce." And that single line has pushed even more people to dig deeper into this side of the story. A lot of people are saying Desmond wanted out for a while. The story floating around is that he wanted to separate. But because of their Jehovah's Witness background, divorce wasn't really an option unless certain conditions were met. That's why some believe cheating became the only doorway out, which has people online debating nonstop. It sounds outdated to many, but clearly those rules still carry weight here. What really has folks shook is that even with Kristy being extremely famous on TikTok, both of them still seemed boxed in by religious expectations. People feel like no amount of money or internet fame could override those long-standing beliefs. And to be clear, this isn't meant as disrespect to anyone in that faith. It's just repeating what people are openly discussing online. Religion can get complicated fast, and when personal freedom clashes with belief systems, things can spiral. That's why this situation has sparked such intense reactions. Some viewers say they've heard troubling stories tied to strict religious structures before, which adds fuel to the speculation without proving anything outright. There's also another angle people keep bringing up. Some believe Desmond was simply worn down by Kristy's non-stop pranks and high-energy chaos. Their content relies heavily on loud reactions, big surprises, and him being over the top, and some think he just wanted peace and quiet instead. Imagine making a living by constantly reacting, yelling, laughing, and being on all the time. According to commenters, Desmond might have just wanted to chill on the couch without a camera in his face. That frustration feels relatable to some people, even if they don't agree with how he handled it. Still, here's the catch. That chaos is exactly what made them famous in the first place. The pranks, the noise, the energy, all of it built their brand. So while people understand why it may have gotten on his nerves, others say that lifestyle is what he signed up for from day one. One comment really stood out and had people split down the middle. It read, "I actually feel so bad for him. He seemed so low on energy and exhausted for real. I don't think he cheated. He probably just said that to get out. Either way, it's hurtful." That take definitely made some people pause and look at this whole situation differently. The commenter even floated another idea, asking if fame changed Kristy over time. They wondered if once she blew up online, the dynamic shifted and Desmond slowly felt that love fade away. Just a thought, but one that sparked a lot of discussion in the replies. People are also paying close attention to Kristy's recent posts. She shared a photo and wrote, "Same address," which makes it seem like she's still living in the dream home they built together. That's the same house people claimed had bad energy, which has folks calling it spooky in hindsight. Staying there with all those memories can't be easy. Still, the support for Kristy in the comments is loud and clear. Many are riding hard for her, saying if she was truly cheated on, there's no excuse for that. At the same time, others admit that if Desmond did this as a way to escape religious pressure, the situation becomes way more complicated and layered. Now here's the update I mentioned earlier because yes, the other woman has been identified. Her name is Marissa Springer. She's based in Houston and she works as a model. That information alone sent the internet into overdrive. She's reportedly 24 years old. And according to what's being shared, this is the woman Desmond was involved with during the marriage. Sources say the two first met earlier that same night in Houston, which only added more questions to an already messy situation. So yeah, whether people feel sympathy for Desmond or stand firmly with Kristy, this reveal added another twist that nobody saw coming. Oh wow, okay, plot twist! So now it's coming out that she might not even be the other woman like people first thought. She could just be a new face in the mix. Basically a new chick on the block. According to reports, Marissa claims she had no idea who Desmond even was online, and honestly, that part sounds believable. A lot of people still don't recognize internet fame when they see it in real life. As for how things moved so fast, sources say there was an instant spark. A few drinks were involved, vibes were high, and what started as casual fun escalated real quick. One of those nights that goes left before anyone stops to think twice. And let's put this into perspective. Desmond and Kristy have been together since middle school. That's basically a lifetime. He never really experienced adulthood as a single man, so now people are saying he might be deep in a rebel phase. A dad of two suddenly out here moving reckless in public spaces? Yeah, that's messy energy. This whole situation is turning into a full-blown headline divorce. Every update adds a new layer, a new character, and even more questions. I wanted to bring this to you because it really does feel like we're only at the beginning of this story. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think about all of this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because this situation is wild. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so you don't miss the next update because something tells me there's more coming. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.